Alright. It is time for the Florencio Files. We are back with another episode of the adventures of this man up here, playing under his own alias, his own name, not even hiding. Representing the clan Protoss, it is, of course, the one and only, the ever-cerebral Florencio. Down here in the bottom left, in the blue, it is not a robot. But isn't that just the thing that a self-aware robot would call itself? Not a robot. It's like, oh shit, I need to not let the humans know. Oh, I'm not a robot. We're gonna keep our eye on how this fucker plays. It's a secret alpha star bot, maybe. We'll see. It's gonna come in here, and Florencio says, oh, I'm sorry. Did you want your expansion? No, dickhead. This is my base. But not a robot. Look at that. Has been watching those Cyril and Raynor games, says, I'm just going to take my third base. Don't even give a shit, mate. Whatever. It's a few seconds late. Doesn't matter. This probe here, meanwhile, is marking its territory. It's doing a little bit of probe hopscotch. Maybe also trying to peer through that glass. And it's like, what is that down there anyway? What do you guys think? What is beneath this kind of little glassy hexagram shape down there? I don't even know. But is he trying to make a pentagram on top of these little hexagram tiles? Wait, what? Florencio has 2 gateways here. I was like, cool, he's coming in to do a surprise cannon rush. But it's a fake surprise cannon rush. He comes in here, he's building a nexus, so he's going to assert dominance. And he's going to recall zealots across... Okay, so this is... not something we see Flo do against Zerg. This must be a new one / an old... Oh, he is going to cannon. It's just a very late cannon rush. Okay, so we've got masses of zealots. He's going to be able to recall those in there. By the way, Zerg has no idea. He's about to get his first warning of this only now. The drone comes down and is like, oh, that's totally normal. Yeah, that's just totally normal. Let's go to not a robot's camera. Scrolls up, looks at the Nexus, is like, wait, what? Builds some Zerglings, starts ling speed. Has he realized? He scrolled up there. No, he's just pulling off gas, putting on minerals. There's a nexus. Okay, now he definitely sees it. Starts building more Zerglings right now. He's like, oh, what the hell, dude? Starts a spine crawler on the high ground right away. There's a pylon up. A cannon is going down. Another pylon to try and limit the surface area, but it is going to fall. That probe's got to get the heck out of there. Meanwhile, we're on the camera here. If not a robot, he's like, okay, well, this doesn't make any sense. This is fucking stupid. Why are you doing this? Holding this so easily with my Zerglings. You're so bad. You're so bad. Okay. Not a robot, though. Apparently, it has been programmed to not insult the opponent. It's just chilling. It's just chilling. Now, remember, during that whole time, did not drop a single inject. Now is starting to spend that money a little bit more. But the recall comes in. Not a robot's not looking. Every single Zergling gets surrounded. Not a robot's like, hey, where'd my Zerglings go? It's gone back to droning. Not a robot is in trouble. Florencio, of course, just starts mining from the enemy natural, because that's all of his bloody probes. So he kind of needs to, or he's got no income. The zealots are in the mineral line. He cancels the spine crawler, drones up against zealots. I'll tell you how that ends, guys. It's the same thing as if you give a fucking baseball bat to a 6-year-old and tell it to go fight a goddamn MMA fighter. It's like, no, it's a 6-year-old. It's not fair. The queen, though, she's going to try and use her big blubbery mass to hold back the zealots. The zealots like, what? No. Flo shuts down the creep tube as well. We got cannons that are going to get up over here as well. The Zerg player says, well, okay, all right. I'm pinned into my main. That's fine. I've got some spines. No one can penetrate the penetrator. That's how it works. The tentacle defense, always solid. And it's going to go macro hatch lair on one base. And remember, Florencio's economy is shit. You might be like, but he's got 2 bases, Mining Pig. Oh, look, his expansion's already full of workers. And literally can't even saturate his gas geysers at home. Florencio is broke as all hell. Florencio is deep in that credit card debt. They're like, did you really need to afford a nexus, a bunch of cannons, and 4 zealots on the enemy side of the map? He's like, yes, I did. They're like, you're $8,000 in debt. You just bought a fucking 80-inch plasma screen TV. And he's like, that's right. That's what I do. Yeah. Florencio's that guy who says you need to spend money to make money, and then goes and buys a fucking $60 bottle of tequila and drinks it all. And I'm like, I don't know if that's what people meant when they said that saying, Florencio. He's like, nah, I'm pretty sure it's fucking what they meant. Bonus points if you steal the tequila out of somebody else's house and then fucking drink it. Haha. Builds a base into the enemy's base. I like that. Creep tumor in range of the cannon. Not a robot, bugging out a little bit here, but is enjoying a bit of tentacle from the high ground. Says, do you like that? You saucy little assimilator. Do you like that? The assimilator just kind of glistens and shines because it's a fucking inanimate metal object. The spine crawler continuing to try to add emotions and feelings and sensations to a fucking structure. It's a very Zerg thing to do, you know? They can't just enjoy killing their opponent's infrastructure. They've got to be like, nah, you fucking, you like that? You effing Protoss player? For those who don't know, Zerg players basically are anyone who's posted a Tfue on Reddit. That's their whole thing. Let's just... Well, this Overlord's going to slide in. No Jolly Ranchers hidden in that one, thankfully. But, Spine Crawler's just hanging out over here. Roach Warren's up. Not really going for any future tech. Just enjoying getting a bit of a tentacular surround on this next line. The next line's going to recall a couple of Stalkers, though. And here we get to see lasers up against Hentai. Now, what does win? Lasers or laser Hentai? That's... Oh, nice micro from Flo there. All that training with Neeb. It's paid off. Neeb doesn't even need to be there anymore. He's competing in the bloody NA finals and shit. And Florencio's still there just flicking those knobs on that Xbox controller. And that's... I mean, who wouldn't want to be with a man who flips the knobs like that, right? If your physiology is anything like an Xbox controller, he will give you a good time. Shield Battery's doing a good job here. These tentacles are getting taken down. Behind this, not a robot is doing... is building 2 roaches? What are we doing? Not a robot has been staring at the spine crawlers. And now he's running Zerglings around. He's like, this one's not going well. Zerglings are going to sneak out. There is still that spine on the high ground who's, giving a bit of penetration to those Stalkers. Back at home, though, 2 cannons and a shield battery and a 3rd cannon. I don't know if this is going to do too much, mate. The Ravager count could come out. Remember, the economy is still pretty average for Flo. He's got good gas mining, but he's not really building a more complex composition. If the Zerg can get enough Ravagers, there's always hope, but... Looking at the production, the Zerg has been supply blocked on 44 for a solid minute. Is finally about to break out of that. Flo's going to be going Robo, which is interesting. Might see Colossus this game. A Dropper Lord is morphing. Oh, are you going to try and drop to the... Oh, no. Are we still not spending money? What is not a... Oh, not a robot short-circuited for sure. It's just running Zerglings around looking for hidden bases. His base is right there. You don't need to find it. He's like, easy. I think he might have expanded. I'm playing Florencio, and I hear he takes corner bases. Where is it? Where's his expansion? It's in your base. You've seen it the whole game, mate. What are you looking... Oh, he does find a probe, actually. That would have taken a 3rd later, but I think you might need to spend your money. Actually built some roaches. Still has a shit ton of lava sitting there. Not a robot, I think, is definitely short-circuited a little bit. Stalkers take out the pervy overlord. They say, no pillar can keep you safe. The pervert points at the other pervert, so that's, like, literally... the one who joins the forum and is like, yeah, I'm also a Justin Bieber fan. Where's your... Yeah, you want to meet up? And the Overlord's like, I'd love to fucking meet up and talk about, how much I love Justin Bieber. And the Observer's like, yeah, well, I'm absolutely a fucking... I'm a fucking 14-year-old probe who's also a big fucking Protoss Bieber fan. Let's go. Lures him out and then fucking points him out to the Stalker police and they do evaporate. Or... Evaporate's not quite the word. Murder? They murder the pervy overlord. So this is a good pervert, the Observer. He's the pervert, uses his skills of mixing in the forums, pretending to be a young innocent probe to bait out. Catfish? Is catfishing the right term? Is it catfishing if you're catching a predator? Is that like... Oh, that one goes down. Okay, they killed the pervert. Zerg's like, oi, he's also a pervert. That's also weird. They did manage to take him down. Disruptor's coming out now, here, on the Robo. We've got... The Zerg player's game plan seems to be to jerk it on the high ground and hope that Florencio does something really stupid. Personally, when I think about strategies in StarCraft, one of the good general philosophies I apply is to actually have a plan other than jerking it in my corner of the map. I used to play a fair bit of PUBG. Surprise, surprise, hanging out in one of those little fap shacks, those little tiny sheds, and just sitting there staring at the door wasn't my favorite strategy. But you know what? Not a robot. I think he can hear my commentary. He feels a bit of shame. He says, okay, I'll make something happen. No worries. And apparently that something is taking a giant scrote to the face. That Ravager flies off the map. Its corpse goes down there with the cacti. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh my god, a limb of a Ravager goes flying. And it looked like it got kind of frozen in midair there, but nonetheless. Stalkers clean up the Zergans there. The Roaches and the Ravagers, to be fair, I think hanging out back upstairs here in the Fab Shack may have been the correct idea for not a robot. Roach corpses are going flying. Oh, shit. Anyone who's ever lived in low-budget student accommodation, they know the feeling of just running around in the middle of the night, just slapping cockroaches on the walls with their bare hands, those big meaty ones, you know? You got to get them quick before they start flying into the air. You know, everyone's like totally chill with cockroaches. The moment they take off and you're like, oh, fuck, it can fly. You're just slapping them down. You've got like 6 dead cockroaches on each hand. You're running around the house like, oh, I got to fucking take them down. That's essentially the joy that those disruptors just felt. It's whack-a-mole, but with cockroach viscera literally down to your elbows, and yeah, so it's satisfying though. It's a bit more satisfying. Whack-a-roach, bit better than whack-a-mole in my opinion. The Roaches and the Ravagers now have said, I'm going to try and take on 2 shield batteries and 3 cannons in a true testament to ridiculousness. Disruptor even gets one. So what's so great here is not a robot literally looked to make no plays at all and just camp, and then I was like, actually, he's going to take 2 more bases and just wait for Flo to make mistakes. I love how a player can commit for 10 minutes to a strategy that is super patient and then follows that up by just fucking headbutting into disruptors and cannons twice in a row. It's like... I'm like, this is not the greatest way to win or the most exciting, but you know what? There is always a chance if you stick with it. It's like, well, I spent 10 minutes camping and then I decided to just go rush down after giving him 10 minutes to prepare for exactly that maneuver. And I'm like... Ooh, we're doing it again? We're doing it, please, balls. I'd love to see a ball finish things off. Come on. Flo's Stalkers, though, more than enough. These Roaches and Ravagers are now evicted from their own home. Oh my god, they're like, oh no, I thought there was a moratorium on evictions, man. Shit. Oh, come on, man, need a place to live. The Stalkers are like, yeah, this is our house now. Did you not get the memo when we built a nexus in your base and started building cannons there and shit? Like, this is literally our territory now. We are the colonizers and you are the dirty roaches who have been colonized. Look at that. Stalkers from the right, stalkers from the left, stuck in the middle with death. Right there, those roaches. Just, woof. 2 more roaches come down. They're like, if we can kill this cannon, we'll have achieved killing this cannon. This Zerg player, honestly, this is the saddest thing I've seen in a while, guys. 2 roaches can take him down. I've got 1 tentacle. Look, I poked his ball with me tentacle. I'm like, okay. And Flo's literally making an alpha of Chads right now. And his opponent's like, well, where 27 roaches didn't do it, I think 4 roaches and a queen can. Oh, Flo, what the hell, man? I thought he was going to teabag himself. You know, that was almost some Marilyn Manson shit where you're like, whoa. Flo, did you get one of your ribs removed so that you can teabag yourself? Flo does some contortionist shit. Places his own sack on his own forehead. He's like, haha. Just wanted to see what it felt like to be one of my ladder opponents. And you're like, what? You're like, that's not easy, dude. How many years of stretching did you put into practice to be able to do that? He's like, oh, you know, an hour a day of stretching for 3 years. I'm like, just to fucking teabag yourself? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, this is how a sewer mermaid spends its time. For anyone out there, whoever just is sitting there scrolling their fucking Instagram feed, looking at pointless shit, going, what am I doing with my life? And you have that moment of realization that you might not actually be using your time as well as you can. Just rest peacefully in the knowledge that Florencio, the sewer mermaid, literally stretched for years, worked on a full-on physical routine to rebuild his physicality just so he could place his own balls on his own face. And then at the last second, just when they're about to touch, pulls it back. He's like, nah, not even going to do it. Actually, I feel like I don't want to feel the feeling of me own balls on me face. I'll continue putting them on other people's faces. Haha! That's honestly Florencio at this point. He's just got like, it's like, I like to imagine if Jimmy Carr was possessed by a fucking demon. That's like Florencio sewer mermaid laugh, you know? He's like, ha ha ha! But like a bit more evil and even more high-pitched and weird to it. You know, like that's kind of the joy you get. He comes in with full body, he's like, and he's like, for some reason he's showering at the same time, but he's Florencio. So you're like, oh, is that a loofah? And you realize it's just a really dried up shit that's like all rough and stuff. It's somehow kind of, it's like semi-fossilized, and he's just using it. He's like just exfoliating, and I'm like, dude, is that a dried up shit for a loofah? He's like, yeah. Apparently everything you need to survive you can find in excrement form. So shout out to Florencio there. You know, he's a big fan of recycling. And everyone out there who, you know, you're using unrenewable resources, you should feel bad. Florencio here, he says, look, I will use other people's wastage. If you don't take your natural, I'll take it from you. That's fine. I will use what you have left over. I live in the sewers, and I live to survive off what you no longer value in this life. Florencio, a very nice game there. A lovely contain. And there's just something so comical about a player just camping for so long, building the spines, really playing patiently. And then right when I'm making fun of him for it, he's like, yep, so we could bile him down slowly, methodically. Yep, seems like a good idea. Or, actually, let's bring, not even all, leaves 2 Ravagers behind. We're gonna just run down here. And I'm like, does that seem like a good idea? Does this seem like a good idea? Does it? He's like, we may have gone too deep. Yeah, no fucking kidding. No fucking kidding, Walter White in the final season. You know, you've got a lot of money. Just go back and be comfortable in your home. He's like, oh, I'd rather fucking dominate the entire Albuquerque meth market and make another $17 million just for shits. No! Go home! What are you doing, mate? GG's. Well played, Florencio. Thank you for that lovely display. You're a sick bastard. And we will see you in the next games. If you guys enjoyed this one, click like, click subscribe, check out the Patreon in the description. See you in the next video, fam. Good night.